Welcome to the Puff Puff and Laugh podcast, coming to you from the Mile High State. I'm your host, Elise. We got my boy Macho and my man Matt.
Woohoo.
Yep. Welcome.
What is good, y'all?
Well, it's Sunday here, and we got the Raider Bronco game later on today in about an hour, so I'm excited for that.
That's right.
Besides that, I'm on vacation, enjoying life, playing some Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
What about
yeah.
you, man?
All right.
What's your, should we, speaking of your Nintendo Switch, man, your Mario Party, I
Yeah.
still want to play you. I know you're probably going to kick my butt. I still want to play you.
Yeah, I think it would be even, but you have the Mario Party on yours, or?
Not that Pacific one. It's like Mario Party 4 for you, right?
Okay, well, with the Switch, it's 4, yeah, I would demolish you. But the new one, it's a little bit more fair. And Jamboree comes out next week, and that's going to be the brand new Nintendo Party, Mario Party. But
Okay.
the one I'm playing now is Superstars, and it has all the old games from N64.
Yeah.
I think it said NES. I don't even think they had one for that. But it has all these different games, cool maps,
Yeah.
and a lot of characters,
Uh-huh.
which I was really bummed out with one of them. It's 8. It's on the Wii.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have my favorite, Donkey Kong.
No?
I'm a Donkey Kong lover. Like,
Aw.
I'm a tattoo.
Really?
At my work, I got a little Donkey Kong keychain, but
Nice.
it's a bigger one.
Nice, yeah.
That's pretty neat. But yeah, so if you were to get one, it would be that the Superstars. If not, wait a week, and then they're going to have that Jamboree. It's
Dude.
going to be the brand new one. I'm so
Jamboree.
stoked for it.
Dude, I'll have to play it. I'll have to play it, dude. I love the Switch. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I'll get you a Christmas gift. I'm like, what? She's like, oh, what did you get me? You're like, I got you the Zelda game. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm like, hey, you ever wanted to smile? This is why she is a wonderful person. If you ever want to know why, I love this game called Super Mario RPG. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, I was reading it, and I watched a couple of videos yesterday of it, actually.
My favorite game, hands down,
Yep.
ever in the world. I have a hard copy with me. With that said, though, I don't send the old equipment game box that we all have. You know, I don't play it. But I've been wanting to play it, and it finally came out for Switch, and this beautiful human being got it for me.
How is it?
Dude, I love it. I love it, dude.
What would you compare it to? Like a first-person shooter?
Okay. If I was to compare it to old and new, because it originally came out like on the Super Nintendo, remember? Or maybe you don't. It came out like in the 90s, and it's revamped. But I would say in popularity amongst nerds, it's pretty up there. It's a super awesome game. Yeah. I kind of don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, okay. That sounds cool. I'll have to watch a little more video on it, maybe some gameplay. They do cool reviews on YouTube for the games,
Yeah.
so you can really see if you like it or not.
Oh, yeah. Same with that Donkey Kong game. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you were talking about football earlier. Today's the Bronco Raider hater, or the Bronco Raider game.
Wow. I don't know about all that. The Raider Bronco game. Raider Donkeys.
Yeah.
You said football, and I went,
Yeah.
My
Oh,
bad.
I was gonna say. Speaking of, how are you? How are you doing?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. We still roll with the tide up in here, but
he was going first. You
Yeah.
go. I'm good. I can't help a involuntary action.
yeah.
Sorry, dude.
That's all good, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Bronco Donkey game coming up. We'll see if we got enough pieces. I'm not sure. I think Crosby, he's a game time decision. He's on the defense, and then Adams, he's out. He didn't even travel for the game, hamstring. But there's all those trade rumors right now where he's requesting the trade. I mean, we just paid him big bucks, so it's like it's a business. And if I didn't want to work, and then they would just fire me, and I wouldn't have any income. But he can get away with it, partially with this injury. But when he's done being injured, is he going to play, or are we trying to do this trade hardcore? So, yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes today. Denver's defense is pretty tough, so I don't know if it's going to be high scoring with their offense being so weak. What do you got for us? Tell us how you're feeling about yesterday.
Just trying to get Coca-Cola to sponsor us currently.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Coca-Cola.
Dude, you don't know that. I'm organized, you know.
Coke Cherry to be exact.
Yeah.
I love
Road
Coke
trip.
Cherry.
Road
Ooh.
trip, a fresh one, fountain drink with the
Yeah.
ice, ton of ice.
Yeah.
That
Dude.
fucker hits.
And I love red vines with it.
Yeah.
Red vines and cherry Coke.
Yeah, I like red wines also.
What's that? Dude, I love Diet Cherry Coke Zero.
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s now. I have to live the zero life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
We do,
I
we do.
love Cherry Coke Zero. And one
It's
night,
so good.
I was like, I wanted whiskey, but I forgot because I usually drink it with something sugary when I do get it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're drinking alcohol. Who cares if you drink a Sprite? You know what I mean? And so I kid you not, I'm like, I forgot. So I come home and I'm like, well, I have the Cherry Coke Zero.
Oh,
And
0
this is-
out of 10. Would
So-
not
and
recommend.
so the nerds can. Oh, sorry, y'all. So the nerds can fact check me. It is Cherry Coke Zero with, I think, regular Crown Royal.
Yeah, Crown Royal, not Crown Oil. Okay.
Sorry, Coke. Bro, yeah, Crown Royal. I think it's just the regular brand, right? Or
yeah,
is it-
yeah. It's just the regular flavor.
Yeah, it tastes just like what? Tell them.
Grandpa's cough syrup. Like it tasted like straight up Tussin. Like this
It
was
did.
terrible.
Robitussin.
And he was just laughing it up, and I took a drink, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, no, this is terrible. It was awful.
Ruined it.
Dude, yeah.
Like it tasted like that cherry Tussin that like when you were a kid. It was ugh.
I actually like that stuff, but my wife, she absolutely hates it. Everything has to be pill form. Never can be liquid. So yeah,
No.
I can relate, but I don't mind the taste, to be honest.
See, he's like that. Like I grew up taking Alka-Seltzer for everything. You know, Alka-Seltzer, Vicks, crackers and you power through it. He will not take Alka-Seltzer. He's like, no. He's like,
Nope.
that is disgusting.
Nope.
And I'm like, listen, sometimes the cure is worse than the pain. And he's like, He
No,
will
I'm
not
gonna
do
take
it.
anything that you throw up on a beach and a seagull eats and goes. It's bad for you.
It's not bad for you. Stop it.
So, anyways, as disgusting as y'all say it was, there's a connect here. I would rather get snockered off all that
Yeah.
than to talk about the Alabama Vandy game.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know I have
Get someone into Vanderbilt, right?
responsibility to talk about it. So this is what I'll have to say about it.
Okay.
They showed up, they showed out, they played a hard game, and they deserved that win. Their offense ran strides through our defense. We couldn't stop their run.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop their run. And it happened, right? And this goes back to Georgia. The second half of Georgia's defense shut us. Our defense couldn't shut Georgia out. And then all four quarters of this game, our defense can't shut them out.
Yeah.
And it's like the offense is not the problem.
Yeah.
Ryan Williams having to do one of those miraculous, I can literally probably get first round draft pick right now catches that he has done
Yeah.
all season.
Yeah.
These stars can only do so much, y'all.
Exactly.
The defense has to show up and show out. And
Yeah.
you know what? This is what I have to say about Vandy. I'm actually happy for him.
Yeah.
It's like seeing your younger, much more dumber and way less smarter, ugly brother actually get a
Okay.
chick
Yeah.
and get it right, and you're like, okay. I mean, you can't help it. It's Vandy. Everyone, how can you? I don't think I've ever met anyone who is like, yeah, SEC football, right, hate on Vandy.
Yeah.
No one hates on Vandy.
No.
I'm super happy for him.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck them, but I'm super happy for them.
There you go.
Yeah.
With that too.
And I mean, under Saban too. Even like this has been a problem for Alabama for a while in terms of the defense being able to play all four quarters.
You know, this is karma, right?
Yep.
You know what Nick Saban said before the game?
What?
Oh, this is karma. Nick Saban said before the game about playing someone hard, and he says, then you come into Vandy where you always know you're never going to play a hard team.
Yeah.
He said that right before their game. I think fucking
He jinxed us.
Didn't he take his tie off too and put that yellow one on?
yeah, something
Just
like
being
that.
funny.
I don't know.
So maybe that did it too, because he never takes his tie off.
Yeah, and they're the Vandy quarterback's like, I saw this in a dream years ago. I'm like, dude, shut up. Alabama didn't show up. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
I mean, and he may have saw it in a dream years ago, but still, that's kind of weird to say on,
It is.
you know.
Anyways, that's how I feel about Alabama football.
All right.
Roll
All
Tide,
right.
roll.
Roll
That's fair.
Tide. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Well, like, okay. Okay, all right. At least we're showing up still. Showing out. Yes.
I
Coke
think
Zero.
your drink is blocking the view.
Okay.
Just joking with you.
No.
That's awesome.
But you get.
Yeah, it is. I deserve that.
Well, I'm going to bring something up here. Barbecue chips. All right. Shout out to my girl, Jane's Bondage, also known as her call sign 007. All right. Told her, or she watched the podcast and she was like, chips, like she loves barbecue chips.
You.
She was like, they go with everything.
But nothing at the same time.
And I asked her about the salsa. Someone makes a real good salsa. What are you're gonna dip it in some barbecue chips. Like
Trash
that's
ass
that's what
barbecue.
Macho said. And she was like, fuck it, yeah, I'll eat them like that too.
And then I was like, well, what I really wanted to say on the podcast is, who the fuck dunks a barbecue chip, my dude?
In sal-
Never in my
Exactly.
in salsa or in cheese.
Or
I'm
in it-
sorry. The barbecue chip is the chip of the sandwiches. It's the champion of sandwiches.
Exactly. And the barbecue is on the chip.
And dude, a tuna sandwich. Have you tried barbecue chips with like a tuna sandwich?
My mom was saying that that's how she prefers it because she
Oh.
rebutted to our podcast after she listened to it.
Dude, your
She
mom-
said, it goes with the tuna
No,
sandwich.
no. I need to call this out.
Trash.
Your mom has taste, my friend.
Go classic Lay's. Just a salty flavor with the sandwich goes
No
really
way.
well. With
No
the
way.
mayo and the tuna.
No way.
Yes.
So some people clearly are coffee snobs. Some, are snobs about the wine they drink. Clearly, Macho is a chip snob and cannot be on the same level as the rest of us and eat barbecue chips. Okay.
The main one though is just the white corn chip. Can go with every meal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if I'm having chicken Alfredo, I still want something with the crunch, and the vegetables on the side really doesn't do it.
That's what
So-
the breadsticks are for.
Well, yeah, you can do breadsticks, but you gotta think it was summer, hot as shit. Wasn't trying to run my oven.
Air fryer, bro.
You can, yeah. It still will heat your house. I mean, it's hot.
It's not as bad, though.
I'm running central air till 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's
know,
crazy. My house is pretty big. It's
Yeah.
2,800, I think, square
Dang.
feet.
So it's like
And
twice
all
the
the
size of our
all the
house.
air is downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Kids
so
are
it's-
frozen,
Yeah.
and then we got fans galore. And
Mm-hmm.
It's just an older system. Well, it's an older duct system, but the actual central air and stuff is brand new. It's only 3 years old. I just got it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you have to try to push that air up, and so
That's
anything
hard.
I do upstairs cooking, it automatically will start tipping it. I'm like,
Gotcha.
oh my gosh, it's getting so hot.
Gotcha.
Well, I got to tell you though. So this will be my closing argument for today's podcast on the chip issue.
Okay.
My dad, as a Williams man, and you will appreciate this.
Yeah.
Dad has always told me, son, the right tool for the right job.
Yes.
He goes, it'll save your marriage, it'll save your life. Meaning, right? If you don't use like a Phillips head to unscrew like a flat edge, you know what I mean? I'm so high right now. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, you're not going to use a
Dude.
butter knife to.
Exactly.
To-
And this is, I think, my argument for the chip situation. It's the utility of the chip and the tool of the chip, right?
Yeah.
The barbecue chip is not meant for dipping.
No.
The tortilla chip is, because the tortilla chip is meant, it was designed specifically for dipping. And it might be a conspiracy, but I think barbecue chips were designed for tuna sandwiches.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be in agreement. I'd be in agreement. I use the salsa or the cheese dip or whatever just as an argument of why it can't be a superior chip. To me, it's like if there's tiers, it'd be on the bottom fourth tier. To be
Gotcha.
honest, I mean
Eat your own oil. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
the Fritos, the hot Fritos ones. I can't think of. Or or no, Funyuns, the hot Funyuns, the
Oh,
red ones.
yes.
They're good, but I'd put it on a low tier. It
Yeah.
just doesn't go with a lot of things.
See-
Usually it's like a munchie snack.
I just like them all the time. But yeah.
Are you gonna dip it in salsa?
No, I would dip.
Absolutely not. How
I
about
dip
cheese?
it. Yes, yes, I dip them in cheese. But I dip regular hot Cheetos in cheese
okay.
too, though. So
Yeah.
No. And hot Cheetos, I mean, I'd put that on a tier 3, maybe a 2. It's
Yeah.
pretty good, but you're not gonna do it with the salsa. But a cheese, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, those Funyuns, those especially the hot Cheeto Funyuns are so good with queso.
Oh,
They're fucking good.
Real quick on a 4th level,
Yeah.
they got these Funyun Lay's Ruffles.
Uh huh.
Fucking trash. I threw
What?
it away.
Funyun Lay. What?
Yes. So
Ruffles?
the flavor.
Did you say Ruffles?
Yes, they're the Ruffles.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the Ruffle texture.
They're the flavor of the Funyun. So I was like, phenomenal, because I love that flavor. It does not go good with that, because that shit's so greasy.
Yeah, it
And then
doesn't.
that
That's not
flavor
the.
in
That's
it?
not the right texture.
It was horrible.
That's not the right texture. It has to be that like the onion, like that like air pop texture. Ugh.
So that's on the 4th
Yeah.
stage there, whatever tier.
Gross.
Garbage.
That. Let's go get some of that for our fire tonight.
Some barbecue chips. I'm joking.
Ruined
It's
it.
even be hanging here.
Ruined it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to understand this on these topics here. So we have been watching Harry Potter, and when we watch Harry Potter, when we watch any movie, it's like Mystery Science Theater 3000 because I start talking shit, and then he starts talking shit, and then we're just like laughing through the entire thing. But what is this? Tell them this conspiracy theory about Harry Potter is the bad guy.
So a little bit more insight into what she was saying. We have like the same sense of humor, but we also have kind of our unique sense of humor. You know, like I tell people all the time, don't try to roast my wife. You will die, not physically, but mentally and emotionally,
Spiritually.
and they all say they think they can, and they think they can, but they can't. So my flavor of comedy, and I'm not saying flavor of comedy, but my style of comedy is roasting people in a much more deep philosophical way. And so, like, when I'm trying to be funny in a comedy, I'll be like, I think the Dudleys would be MAGA. Sorry. Sorry. I'm like, oh yeah, like I could see Vern having a Make America Great Again hat. Come on.
See, and when I look at the Dudleys, I definitely get that like vibe, but I get like if the Dudleys were walking down the street and they saw like there's a lady who runs up and down the street that we live on, and she screams. There's probably drug use there, but there's probably a lot of mental health too, because she screams like random things. It's almost like maybe Tourette's or something. Like one day she was screaming about like bananas, right? And then one day she was like, "Fuck you, bitches," and was just like running up and down the street. Like there's definitely something there. God bless her. But if they saw her, they would like definitely like cross the street. Like she wouldn't even have to be running, and they would like. That's the vibe I always got from the Dursleys, is that they would be like, "Oh yeah, like you're beneath me." Like yeah,
They would call the cops.
yeah, true. Like if they were not muggles, if they were magical people, they would definitely be the Malfoys.
And then like, so we're like completely fucking laughing, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. Come on. I
Yeah.
know you're a Republican, but come on. It's funny. And so, and I go, man, I think Harry Potter's the bad guy. I said, because I first said, you know what? I said, you know what? I said, I guarantee you the Dudleys whoop his ass every day.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
what they don't see on camera, like if this is like a real life thing, they would be like fucking whipping his ass every fucking day. I mean, he's living underneath the stairs
In a
for crying out
cupboard,
loud.
yeah.
In a cupboard.
Yeah,
Come on, like the inference here is that the abuse is really bad.
exactly.
I'm like, either that or Harry's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, what explains him living underneath the cupboard? And the bad guy was like me going, maybe the Dudleys like are just like super innocent family, and they got this child pushed upon him, and he keeps like making stories up. He's a deviant, and he's a juvenile. And so we're just going through the movie, and I'm just like, oh, the poor Dudleys.
And one time he was like, we're going through the movie, and he's like, yeah, he was like, they have this like deviant child because like the thing about Harry Potter is, spoiler alert, you've had plenty of time to see all of the movies if you have not, so
Yeah,
whatever. He's the last Horcrux, so he's a piece of him is also a piece of the bad guy Voldemort, right? So it's reasonable to assume that he might have some crazy, weird, intrusive thoughts as like a kid, because this magical person essentially lives in him too, and so he's like, oh, the poor Dursleys. They probably had a bunch of like dead squirrels in their backyard. And I'm like, oh my god.
And she's like, shut up. Hagrid would not be up in for 6. Shut up. Sorry, little inner joke between us. But anyways,
Yeah.
I don't think I believe any of that. It's just all funny.
Yeah,
Joking.
true. Hagrid looks like he might give away candy to minors, maybe, kind of gives that vibe. He does.
Yeah, I mean, he's special, so.
True, he is kind of special.
He is. He really
But-
is.
Well, I got a little funny story with Harry Potter, I guess, since we're on that subject.
Okay.
So in middle school, if you read Harry Potter, the first book, then you got a free hour where you could play Oregon Trail or whatever on the computer. Well, I really wanted to play it. So initially I was against anything like that because it's kind of dorky. It wasn't my style with magic and all that. So I was like, no. Well, I wanted to play Oregon Trail, so I said, fuck it. So I got it, read it, loved it, of course. Talked to my teacher about it, got to do the Oregon Trail. Read the second book, phenomenal. So by the time the third book comes out, I just started dating my wife, and it was in high school. I was a freshman. So that third book comes out. My dad gets it at the midnight release because he sees how excited I am about it. So I'm sitting outside reading that book on a little hammock.
Yeah.
And my wife comes out and she's like, hey, Daniel, you want to go inside and mess around?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm into this book. Like, I can't stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out here for a few hours. And to this day, she holds that against me. She's like, you remember that time you went get with me just for a fucking book?
You know what?
Harry Potter.
Like, but I get it. Okay. So, like, you guys were talking about video games earlier, and I added video games because I have a story about video games and kind of why I was against them for a little bit. Like, I didn't grow up playing video games a lot because my brothers played them, and they didn't really let me play them with them. But in college, I dated this guy who was super into video games, and he was like that, like how you were with Harry Potter. I was like, hey, you want to, have a little fun? And he was like, no.
Oh, dude.
He's like, I can't. He's like, I have to finish this. I'm like, what, like this level? I'm thinking like, cool, you can get to a stopping point. No. He's like, I got to beat this game. And I'm like, what do you mean you got to beat this game?
Wow.
And he had just like started playing like maybe an hour before. He was up all night. I'm butt ass naked under the covers thinking, okay, maybe I can. No. Nope.
That's crazy.
He did not come to bed until he beat that damn game.
Dude, I can't say what I really think.
My boys know what's up. I tell them, hey, I'm going to be out about a round or two. That's about all it lasts. So then I'm right there. Trying to midway on the first round. They're like, we already done? We just have to use the restroom? No, you know what's up. Hey, my boy.
Yeah. For real.
I mean,
I kind of want to say it, but I think you're going to be so mad at me.
what? Go ahead, just say
Are
it.
you sure? Mm-hmm. I'll be all abracadabra on that ass. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's
Sorry.
the point.
Sorry.
Better tear that ass up, sir.
Like, jeez.
Yeah, but it's all right. That's how you know it's a good book, though.
No, yeah. I
Love
I
Harry
love
Potter.
them all. I love them all.
with
the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, they missed out on a lot of stuff that was special to me, but That's what you get for a movie. The books are always better.
Yeah.
Same. And it's the very first real like like magic show that I watched after no longer becoming a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Yeah, after just stepping away.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
Nice.
It's like, I'm like, what the hell? I keep hearing about this Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think Chamber just came out.
Uh-huh.
Let me take a look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's even before Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I love Harry Potter.
I've always loved Harry Potter, and then like I know, like we both have special tie to Harry Potter, but I just loved Harry Potter because like I've always kind of been into like dorky shit anyway. Like I've always I hung around with like the band nerds and like the kids who played Magic in the library on lunch, so like when I got to college, I made friends with like a couple of those people and then hung out at the game store anyway. And so I would just sit there and read fucking Harry Potter and shit all the time,
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've been talking a lot about Harry Potter, but one more thing, okay? I promise. There's even like the Harry Potter castle in Orlando.
Yeah.
We want to go there.
Uh-huh.
We want to go there. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of afraid too.
Why?
Because we both know I'd be a Slytherin. And we both know I'd walk in that wand shop and Voldemort's wand would start like going, cracking out. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Voldemort's wand. I know that.
It's all right. I'm fucking Hermione and but Hermione, like Loki, so all three of us have read Harry Potter.
Just a joke, by the way.
So for our Hermione, or for our Harry Potter nerds, like you could tell that Hermione was a muggle. Like, and I'm not just because she liked shit like toothpaste and all of that. How quick she was to just throw hands with Malfoy instead of like cast a spell. I mean, she was on school grounds. She could have and not got in trouble.
Yeah.
No, instead she wanted to just throw hands.
Yeah. Like real bad trouble to your point too.
Yeah.
Like getting kicked out of school and being a muggle. I couldn't, I don't know if I'd be happy or sad as the father, I'd be like, like,
Yeah.
sorry.
But you could tell she was.
She's about that life.
She was about that life, and she was quick to beat his ass. But tell me more. Okay, so you have these stories on here, and I don't know which one I want to hear first. Macho.
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing a poop story. I mean, I did it 2 weeks in a row, so I thought I'd venture away and try a little bit of something different. One of them I have on here is the funny Walmart tire story. This one's really quick, but
Okay.
I was working at Walmart Tire Lube Express in La Junta in high school and in college, and I was pretty decent. The more difficult oil changes I can handle. I'd work the pit a lot, where you're draining the oil, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was pretty decent. I don't know. I was just having an off day, and this car didn't get pulled up all the way. So you have a red crate, and then you have yellow ones. The yellow ones can move. You're standing on the red one, and you're working on it. Well, they didn't pull it up all the way, but they popped the hood, and I was doing something, probably wiping my hands, getting ready to touch a new car. And then when I go walk to it, I step through the crate. So here's the crate. My leg steps through. What do you think I hit? My motherfucking nuts.
Oh no!
At such a deep rate. And then I was like, just laying on the car like this, like, what the hell? But adrenaline lifted me up.
Yeah.
And I worked through the pain. And I started laughing. I was like, hey, I was going to get that oil filter myself. It was just one of those funny things. I was like,
God, how much pain, dude.
Damn, dude.
no, I stayed through, though, and did the oil change. So
Did you?
I
But,
showed some heart
man,
right
God
there.
bless. But, ouch.
Stepped all the way through. I'm surprised I didn't fall all the way down the pit.
Dude,
which
I'm
is
surprised
pretty
you weren't throwing up.
Fucking for
after
real.
that.
It was the adrenaline, to be honest. I don't know.
Wow.
was
I
just-
mean, oof.
Damn.
It's just
Don't
crazy.
mess with Camacho, you know what I mean?
Fucking for real.
Yeah, don't mess with my balls.
Yeah.
Turns me into the Hulk.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
So I want to get to the liberal take on the Jack Smith indictment, but I want to kind of tell. Did we tell the Godzilla story?
I don't know, but go ahead.
Okay.
But you tell it so much better than me. Go ahead.
So like when we first got into like smoking, we didn't know that the more distance, like we were smoking like joints and stuff. Actually, I think we did. I think we told it on the first one when we were
Okay.
talking about you were breaking down the different types of weed and stuff. Anyway, I was going to talk about my first edible story. So,
go ahead.
because before we like started smoking, like that's all we did was edibles, right? And like with edibles, it's kind of hard to tell where it's going to hit you at, like if you're not eating the whole thing. But like I went to a dispensary with my boyfriend at the time, and we got a bag of gummy worms. Now, I love gummy worms. I love like anything kind of like chewy, like gummies, like anything like that. And so I'm all excited and I'm like, yeah, cool. And I go and I grab like 3 of them, and he was like, oh, okay. And I have 3 in my hand, and I eat one of them, and I have the other one, and I'm getting ready to eat a second one. And he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, what? He goes, no. He's like, don't eat 2. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool, whatever. Well, nobody told me not to eat the whole fucking like gummy worm, like your first time, like your first trip.
Yeah.
Oh, I was really like,
What do you mean don't eat the whole gummy worm? That would be my intuition.
yeah. So no, I ate the whole fucking thing, and I was up there. I was like,
Yeah, tolerance level, you're at a 0.
yeah, like.
As opposed to now, you can handle one whole gummy.
Oh yeah, like now I can handle like
that's
a
good
couple
high.
of them,
Yeah, it's a
but
good high.
yeah, but like
Not your first. with
no,
0.
no. Oh my God. Like, so I sat there, like I couldn't move. I was in the kitchen and I was sitting on the counter looking at the fridge for 3 fucking hours.
Oh shit!
And I couldn't do anything. Like I
what's up.
couldn't move because anytime I moved, I thought I felt the earth move. So I was like,
wow.
yeah, it was like bad. It was so bad. And then like time would go by like really, really slow. So I finally hop off the counter and I'm walking down the hall, and my boyfriend at the time, who was fucking Father Time, thought he was fucking funny, and he was like, oh, you shall not, like all slow-mo.
yeah.
And so I'm like freaking out because I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, it was bad.
You are freaking out.
Yeah, and he just like made it worse. So yeah.
So that's not a guy you'd be with try
No.
shrooms for the first time.
No, he was not a good trip sitter at all. He will talk you off the ledge, like, hey, just deep breath.
Dude, like,
Here's some
And-
snacks.
Yeah,
like,
here's
everything's
some
normal,
water.
Everything's perfect.
It's fine. You're good.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
be around me. I'd be like, here's some more weed. Counter it with some more. Trust me on this one.
Yeah.
No, a friend of mine, the one who told us like get some distance between the, like what you're smoking. We took it literally and got a fucking
Yeah.
3-chamber bong.
Love it though.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
like he told us because that next day we understood the Afro Man. Like we could not do fucking shit because we got high. We were just on the fucking couch all day.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you overdid it. He's like, counter it with CBD, and he's like, it'll help you come down. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, because we were talking about that actually right outside before the podcast
Yeah.
about the bong usage, and
Yeah.
maybe covered it last episode, but just real quickly, dude, like I didn't, when I very first started, like, I smoked my first edible and stuff like that, like, once I started, I went to, I'm having a brain fart, but, joints, sorry.
Yes.
I went to joints, and I'm like, oh, You know what I mean? Like, it was bad. And then I'm like, I don't do that. I want to do a bong.
Yeah.
We get this bong, and I whipped on it
Yeah.
daily, multiple times.
Yeah.
With multiple huge rips, like. And then my buddy comes over, and he's like, "No, I can't do it. I'm in my 40s. I'm old." And I'm like, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
awesome.
I think it's because we didn't start hitting off like bongs and stuff until like
Yep.
now, like in our 30s and 40s, you know. So it's still there's still nostalgia to it for us.
Yeah, they're too harsh. I can't handle it.
You know,
It's a
like,
good high though. It's pretty intense.
but that tumbler one, that tumbler bong one, I just fill it with ice. It's like crisp, and so it's not as bad. Yeah, it's crisp. It's real crisp.
I like it crispy.
I love our I love our Rick and Morty one.
Yeah, yeah. Which we got it locally, but the store
No
closed.
business, right?
Yeah, so I'll have to find out if there's any, if the artist went elsewhere and shut them out.
Yeah, we love local stores, dude. We really do.
Yeah.
There's like we love local stores.
So tell us this liberal view of the Jack Smith indicate.
Indictment.
And you have indicate.
Roll Tide.
He is
I
from,
don't-
he is from
do we have
Alabama.
enough time?
We don't have enough time. All right, that's
I don't
fine.
know. Do we? I'm asking you.
20 minutes.
We got 20 minutes.
Yes.
So
Okay. I might
Okay.
take about 5. I don't know. Just,
okay, yeah.
Just-
You'll be
All
fine.
my stuff's short this week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's funny though. But
I
they're
tell
short.
you what. How about you go, and if we have time, we'll talk about it. And if we don't have time, we'll do it.
Okay.
Whatever you want, brother.
Yeah, I mean, like the floor is yours if you want to talk about it right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, no surprise to anyone who's been watching these episodes, I consider myself a liberal. I really do. On a great many values, and that's the only thing that I will say, like politely on the podcast, is
Yeah.
I have different values than I would say somebody who is Republican, and that's all
Yeah.
I'm just going to say with it. I don't need,
respect.
There's no, when I assert my values right now or my arguments, it's in no way, shape, or form diminishing or demeaning anyone individually in my life.
Yeah.
These are just overall opinions that I personally have about events that have happened and
Yeah.
my overall liberal opinions about how life should be ran.
Yeah.
Well, no, just respect to any Republican that's watching. I think it's very important.
Yeah.
I don't want to insult people. Now, with
Absolutely.
that said, I am a liberal. Let's talk about this indictment. So, as a liberal, I think January 6th was an insurrection, and I think Donald Trump attempted to soft coup the government.
Okay.
I do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think it's a riot. I'm not going to go into the facts. We don't have enough time, but I do. I've read the Eastman memos. I've looked at the actual facts of the matter, and that's my opinion. And so this shows. I'm not going to go into all of it, but if you've been following the steps from the Supreme Court all the way back to the federal judge, you will know that right now, the Jack Smith indictment, the federal judge allowed the indictment to actually be opened.
Yes.
And what the indictment had was more evidence
Yeah.
damning Trump for what I believe. And so we kind of already knew a lot of the things they were saying, but the new things, and this is just first day, second day stuff, by the way.
Okay.
They haven't even went to testimony. But one of the things they did say is because a part of the brief, I think it was 120 pages, don't quote me, it's around that. And I think it was all the way up until page 20. He just laid out the argument for this. And he is not, and when I say laid out the argument, he has not released all the evidence.
Okay.
That's why the Jack Smith indictment matters right
Gotcha.
now. So part of that evidence release
Okay.
is eyewitness testimony of people who were actually inside the room who knew that not only did Donald Trump know that Vice President Mike Pence's life was in danger, which he claimed he didn't. Not only did he know that, but when somebody told him in a room, hey, they told him something like, hey, his life is in danger, what should we do about it, or something of that accord, and he
Yeah.
said, so what? That's the first really kind of damning thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean you commit election fraud, right?
True.
There's a difference there.
Absolutely.
But it does mean that Donald Trump, like we all know, is just a liar. You can't believe anything he says.
True.
With that said, I don't know if it was a little time later or the circumstances, but I think his lawyers and people around him, including Pence, were arguing, hey, and this is what Pence said.
Yeah.
I believe associated with Pence. And they said, hey, you've lost. We got to stop this. They got to do this. He didn't want to talk to nobody. He knew the riot was happening. He was sitting in front of the television while the riot was happening, looking and tweeting. And then when they told him about Mike Pence, he said, so what? And he turned around and they said, you have to say you lost the election. Just say you lost the election. Go home. They were pleading. And he goes, no, walked over to his family and said, if you win them or if you lose them, you fight like hell. Or if you win or lose, you still fight like hell. There we go. If you win or lose, you still fight like hell. So it's pretty damning in the nature that not only does it really give you the evidence for the mens rea portion of the crime, or the mental state of the crime,
Okay.
and it's able to connect it to the actus reus of the crime, which is the action itself, what was happening that day,
Okay.
and the Eastman memo and everything that led to that day.
Okay.
So, as a liberal, that is my explanation
Gotcha.
of the Jack Smith indictment.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing your take on it. And will you put the links in the description?
I will.
Cool. Sweet. All right. So thank you for the current event update there.
So, what's your thoughts on Secret Service? They don't communicate with each other. This isn't like they're going to war and Trump has to make a commanding decision. They knew there was a threat when the Secret Service tell each other.
I
It'd be
think.
silly to think not.
I think. Okay, my honest opinion of that, because I think the inference is the secret. You would assume that the Secret Service is such a high performing law enforcement organization that to fall for that twice is kind of suspect, right?
Well, he has a different team now than he did when he was president. I
Yeah.
mean, they're still current people, but the severity risk level was a lot higher. I mean, it's high now, but if he actually has the office, it's a lot higher because then you're killing an active sitting president as opposed to a past president. You know, you wouldn't get no real credit if you somehow killed Carter right now when he's near
Yeah.
death. You know,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I personally, my opinion of it is just law enforcement. It's just people being people. I mean, I don't know if there's a conspiracy. I like to talk and joke and laugh about conspiracy theories, but
Yeah.
real time political, I don't really get into them. But
Yeah.
I just think I have been in law enforcement or associated with law enforcement for many years.
Yeah.
And I understand that it doesn't matter. The high level, the low level, people make stupid mistakes and they don't think through the entire problem.
That's very true.
And that's my opinion on it.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
But I would agree with you. It shouldn't be that way. You know what I mean?
yeah, I agree.
Like, seriously, they need to protect the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they would have anyway.
And that's what all presidents after, are supposed to have that. So, I mean, it's not,
Absolutely. Like,
they have a duty to uphold.
as a liberal, no matter how much I don't want to see Trump get reelected, what I don't want is for that to happen.
Yeah.
That is no
Absolutely.
good for the country. That is no good for left or right. That is no good for Trump. That is no good for his family. It's no good for the world if
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
And there's still time just to talk out the differences and understand each other.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're giving people a lot of credit to talk out the differences. Because, well, yeah. What is okay, I keep getting distracted because I'm looking at this and I see Uncle Ronco and I want to think Uncle Rico.
Yeah. No, it's Uncle Ronco. So growing up,
I'm
I guess as a kid, I really wasn't taught Spanish,
Uh-huh.
even though my grandma, and my dad spoke it. I really wasn't taught. So my dad's like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Uncle Ronco," and I was like, "Okay." And so we get there, and it's just pure Spanish, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, what's going on?" So I don't know what they're saying. I'm bored as a kid,
Yep.
and I was like, started thinking about it. I was like, I gotta tell Uncle Ronco something, like goodbye, you know. So my dad, he finishes up, and he's like, "Hey, hey, Calderon, tell your Uncle Ronco something." So I looked my Uncle Ronco dead in the face. I told him, "Sayonara." The amount of disappointment on my dad's face was just tremendous. He was like, "What the fuck?" So we get in the car and we're driving. He's all, "Fucking sayonara? You mean adios?" And I was like, "I don't know, Dad. I'm sorry." But yeah, Ronco, my Uncle Ronco.
Yeah, Uncle Ronco.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have a dad, like a couple of dad stories. Actually, both of my stories on here are about my dad. Like, you did like the sleep study recently, right? And so, I know you said like, doesn't matter. I'm gonna get the CPAP. I'm gonna tell you right now, do not hand me the hose.
Oh,
Listen to this story and you'll understand why.
okay. I am.
Okay, so when I was a kid, like my dad, like he snores like really, 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 really loud. He has a deviated septum. He broke his nose like bad as a kid. And so he snores like really loud, like cartoons, like when they open and close the door with the snores, like that's like I could hear my dad on the other side of the house. That's how, like, it was that bad. And so my mom was terrified because she would go to sleep and I do this with you. She would wake up because he would stop breathing.
Oh.
And she would like nudge him because she was afraid, like there's people that die, like, you know, because they stop breathing at night. And so he wouldn't do the CPAP machine because he was like, no, I know I have sleep apnea. I won't do it because we were still really small. And he's like, I'm afraid the kids are going to make fun of me. He was afraid of getting roasted by his own kids. And so
That's what's up.
He's not wrong.
true. So fast forward.
Especially Kahea.
Yeah, like I roast people, but my brother, Kahea, aka the Prophesizer, shout out. He opened up for Bone Thugs and Harmony recently. I'm so proud of him. Like he's encountered a lot of
Oh, dude, he's
a lot of
awesome.
stuff,
He's
and
so cool.
and he's still thriving. You know.
Yeah, he's a big Miami Hurricanes fan. That's why I kind of like that's if they're playing Bama, I kind of root for him. You know.
Oh, okay.
You
But
guys stay with Bama.
yeah, but oh my gosh, Kahea would roast the shit out of my dad for sure. But I want to say I was a teenager, can't remember exactly what age, probably like 13, 14-ish. And my dad he did end up finally getting the CPAP machine. So he's getting ready to go to bed. And he worked graves for like a large portion of my life. So he had to sleep during the day. So he's getting ready. My mom is filling the reservoir. It was one of those ones that you put the distilled water or artesian water or whatever the fuck you do in there. So my mom goes to fill it up and brings it back. Well, he is climbing into bed and he makes the mistake. He has the mask on and the hose. It's disconnected because my mom has the reservoir. He hands it to me.
Oh no.
Now, look, for the people at home, I have recently had the confirmation that I have ADHD, okay? And so I get easily distracted, and there's millions of things going on in my head, millions of voices at one time, and all of them told me to blow into the hose. And so that's exactly what I fucking did. So I have this hose, and I go... I wanted to see if my dad's eyes were gonna pop out like the cartoon.
Oh no.
And he was no, they didn't. He was so mad.
Oh,
He was
gosh.
so pissed. He was so pissed. He took it away and fucking hit me. And my mom walks in and my mom's like, "What's going on?" And so I tell her what happened, and my mom like wants to start laughing, but she can't because
Not to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
At least you didn't fart in it and blow it through.
No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did not do that. There was
There's like
one.
a TikTok out there with that. Ooh,
There was one voice that was saying that, but the other ones were kind of drowning it out. So
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So what is this? Okay. Kites.
With a T.
It's kites. Is it let's go fly a kite? Yeah.
As the second one is something, and the T's very important in there.
Yeah. Because when I initially saw this, I was like, what the hell? What kind of person did I marry? Because just for everybody at home, we jot down our ideas. And he has an idea on here, and it reads kites, K-I-T as in tango, E-S, porch monkey, and cringy Elon Musk. Which I do not disagree. Elon Musk can go eat well, never mind. Yeah.
Well,
I love Elon. Go Doge.
really?
I have some Doge, but yeah, he's very cringy.
Okay, so
Especially when he told Taylor Swift that he'd put a baby in her. That was kind of weird.
I promise I'm not racist, but that's what a racist would say. Roll Tide. Anyways, the real question is, has anyone seen Clerks 2?
Yes.
Gee, when did that come out?
2005-ish.
I watched it when it first came out, but I haven't revisited it since.
Remember this scene with Porch Monkey? Mm-hmm. Right, how he's taking it back? Well,
Yeah.
fast forward. Her and I, when we started, like, getting like up there where we're seeing Godzilla.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, we were like, I'm like, man, Mom. I think you said it. You're like, oh, I'm up there with Elon Musk. I'm like,
Yeah.
What do you mean, Mars? She's like, yeah, I'm on Mars with Elon right now.
Yeah.
And so our like phrase to get high is like, oh, I'm up there walking. I'm Elon. I'd be like, baby, you up there with Mars, Elon? Yeah. Well, recently, since the election, he has become a lot cringier.
Yeah, he's become like
Yeah.
increasingly more and more unhinged.
Yes, but I don't want to. I don't want to tell the story in a negative way. So, long story short, I don't particularly like him, and I find him very cringy and dumb. And I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, and I told her this. I said, we need a phrase in it because I like having that phrase, you know, And then I'm like, no, you know what? I'm higher than a kite. I'm taking that back. Yeah, I'm taking it back to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I'm saying is, like, right now, I'm higher than a kite.
Nice. All right.
Roll Tide.
Take it back, because I mean, I got really, I don't know, Elon. When his kids start disowning him, I'm like, oh, okay.
I just want to say, between two of them, they have like 6 different baby daddies and baby mamas and 17 like children. So,
True.
just want to say that.
True. Well, all right. So, what is this dad sleeping story?
All right. So at my parents' house that I lived in growing up through high school, they're having construction done, and my dad did a lot of it along with a contractor. And so we didn't have a kitchen for a minute, and my dad was real tired from working all hard, and I was kicking it outside. I don't know what the hell I was doing. Probably dribbling a basketball or something. Well, his friends come and they scared the shit out of me. I was like, "Oh fuck! Hey, what's up? What's up?" Yeah. Is your dad Johnny here? And I was like, I don't know, but the fear. But I got confused and I was like, no, he's asleep. And they're like, oh really? I was like, yeah, on the toilet. And they looked at me like I was fucking crazy. I was all, but I can go wake him up. So I go in there. I was like, hey, Dad, your friends are here. And he's just chilling and watching TV. I don't even think he was asleep, to be honest. And so he comes out, and they're like, you know what your fucking son just told us? And they're laughing. And all I hear is my dad cussing. I was like, oh, shit, my bad.
They're probably thinking that your dad's fucking having a stroke. Like, he
Going out like Elvis.
smells toast or some shit, and you're over here. Yeah, he's asleep on the toilet.
Yeah, he's asleep on the toilet.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know what I was thinking that day. They scared me. My defense, they scared me.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't really say anything because I'm at the age where I would fall. I fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I would actually probably fall asleep on the toilet.
We pass out on the couch. Like I try to be sneaky about it. Like when I feel it coming on, I try to like turn my body so like my face is away from him. Because if I'm like right next to him and he can see that I'm asleep, he'll be like, "Babe, it's time to go to bed." I'm like, "No," because I'm comfortable. That's why I fell asleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god. So like last week before we were starting the podcast, we were on the porch and we were talking about coworkers, like someone cheating on somebody else or something like that. And you had said like, "Oh, like you can go down 2, but you can't go down 4." Like, what does this mean? Like ratings, first of all, explain to me the rating system that men have for women, because that's what it sounds like. And second of all, explain to me this sliding scale. Like how, like does a 4 have to go with a 4, or like what? Please
All right,
explain
great
this.
question.
Both of y'all can explain this because I'm like,
Well,
yeah,
I feel like women have the scale too, like actors or models. You go, oh, that's a 10, you know, and then usually your husband's like a 7 or an 8. But so in my mind, if you got somebody that's, you know, not horrible, but you're rating them at like a 7, you know, the guy, he's rated at a 7, so probably no beer belly, just your average looking dude, nothing that really sticks out. And then you have a girl, and she's a 7, then generally those will kind of attract, or, you know, be attracted to each other. However, that 7, if he goes through a breakup with the 7, well, he can go down to a 5, you know, sexually,
okay.
and have some fun, but you never go down to a 2, and you definitely wouldn't be dating one. And then on the reverse, you know, when you're a 7 or an 8, you're hoping to go one up, or kind of one out of your league. And if you get a 10, then, you know, you put a ring on it. So,
Is that what happened?
As a solid 5.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
I
that
have
makes
no
sense.
illusions. I am a strong 5.
Okay.
But, you know, that's kind of similar with what you see on TikTok. They'd be like, she's a 10, but she has 10 kids, or 3 baby daddies, or she's a 10, but she's that crazy. So it's a similar thing, you know. You're a 5, but with your humongous penis, you're like a 9.
Yeah. Like, have you ever seen that graph? See if I can try to explain it, but it's like the crazier the woman, the more attractive she is.
Yeah, the crazy hot graph.
Yeah, the crazy hot graph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then if she's like a 10, you're dating a dude or something.
If she's a
or
10 and she's
something, I
not
don't
crazy,
remember.
like you're dating a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's hilarious.
See, and but like, okay, I'm so like confused about this because when I talk, does the scale vary based on the guy,
Well, yeah, I mean,
or they're overlapping?
a guy that's a 10 and he sees, you know, an average woman that I see as an 8, he'll be like, that's a 5, because he's been with such beautiful women. They only date models, whatever. And then you got a guy that's like a 3 who's a dork, fat, you know, I don't know, not desirable. Well, he sees a average woman and he's like, that's a 10. That would just, I would give everything to be with that. But realistically, that's just your average woman, you know.
But there's like an epidemic, and like first of all, don't you be getting in the comments going, not all men, but we know we're not talking about all men, okay?
Yeah, miss us with that.
So let's fucking miss me with that bullshit. If you're gonna be triggered, I don't care. But why do some guys like, and they're like a 3, a 4, maybe on their best day, like a good hair day, like all that, you know, until they open their mouth or something, and then they're like a solid like 1.5. Why do they think that they can be like, oh yeah, I can pull that 10?
Yeah, it's almost like fishing. If you don't have a pole out, then how are you going to catch the fish? You know, you got to have bait on it. So they're just pretty much throwing the cast at everything, and maybe they'll catch a 10 on a bad day where they just went through a divorce or their husband cheated on them, and
Yeah.
now they're going to reach down because they're blacked out drunk, and you know he might only get 1 or 2 in his lifetime, but you can always say I was with the 10.
Yep.
Well, but they also have like the most unrealistic demands because like it's always those ones that like still continue to hit on me, like, but like would like when I was single, those would always be the ones that would like come hit on me, and I'm like, okay, like, am I this fucking ugly? Like,
Yeah.
but they would come hit on me, but I was also heavier. I was a lot heavier. And I know that, you know, depending on the guy, you know, has, you know, impact or whatever, but they would hit on me and I'm like, no, like, fuck you. Like, absolutely not. Like, no, I have standards, like height, you know, first of all. And then they would be like, well, fuck you, you fat bitch.
Dang.
Like, and they would always be the ones to be like, I don't do fat chicks. Okay, first of all, you have neither the face nor the personality to be making those demands, because I feel like your personality, like, even if you're not like great looking, like let's say you're a 5 or like you're a 6, if you have a good personality, I feel like that can kind of bump you up, like, you know, 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why
I'd
she
agree
went
with
with
that. Yeah, your personality made you a 7. Then she wasn't reaching down that far.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, well, you know.
You know, and the sliding scale could be different per the institution as well. And it doesn't matter if the guy's a 10, he doesn't get to see females often, so a 2 is bumped up by 5 points automatically.
Yeah, very true. I mean, even in the military, my dad, he was in the military, and I'm not trying to speak about half of him or anybody, but when you're surrounded by just men, and then you know you get a woman that isn't looking that great, but it's been so long, you're like, oh, she's like a steak, a prime rib.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, y'all are disgusting.
Yeah,
Y'all are.
facts.
Got
Because,
all
like,
it.
I mean, like,
But I feel like women do it too, but it's just more emotional for them, you know.
yeah, like we are tied to like emotion. So here's the thing. So like this is why, in my opinion, fuck boys get over on women, because we are more emotional, and so they wait for like a vulnerability, like what you were talking about earlier, like someone who's going through a divorce, whatever, who's just really vulnerable. Then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna be more, you know, accepting or more open to stuff because, you know, they just want to throw one on the fire, and they like go in, but they don't just like go in and be like, hey girl, you want to hook up? Like, no, like they sit there and they're like, oh, that they're attentive and all the things that women want, but they only pretend to be this way. And then they're like, oh, okay, I got what I want, never mind, bye.
You wanna
But
know
like, why?
Post not clarity.
Because men being the more insecure gender, right?
Okay, absolutely,
Yep.
100%.
That's why.
Ah.
I'm not trying to get into details, but that's why.
Gotcha. So they're just like mirroring because they're like, please don't leave.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I got what I want. Bye.
Yeah. It's like peacocks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to explain right now.
Gotcha.
Never
I
mind.
think opposite. Post nut clarity. It's like eating a good dinner. You're not just gonna stick around Red Lobster or Texas Roadhouse and just continue to look at more food. You're done. So you got that post nut, and you're good to go, and you don't give a fuck about that girl because you weren't trying to be in a relationship anyways. So fuck it.
So it's like when guys are like watching porn and they're like, I'm done. Okay. Click. We're done. And you close the
Yeah, you
browser.
don't keep watching. I'm like, oh,
Because that's kind
I wonder
of
what the behind the scenes stuff is with this.
gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, delicious.
And is this your baby sister story?
No, I don't have any baby sisters. All my sisters are older. I'm the baby.
So what is BB?
Oh yeah, it was just a BB gun I had. It was kind of like how we grew up in the backyard since we didn't have TVs and stuff. We just played hardcore. Well, eventually, just playing out there, whether it was with the volleyball or whatever. Eventually, I got the trust of my dad, and he gave me a BB gun. First thing I do is I shoot my sister right in the fucking leg, get it taken away forever.
Oh no.
But then around that same time, our neighbor come over, and we were playing everywhere in the backyard. Nothing was off limits. So she jumps up on the shed, and she's like jumping around like a psycho. And I don't like heights. So I'm already all afraid. You know, I would
Yeah.
like look up there and stand on something, but I would never jump on it.
Yeah.
Well, she was jumping on it, and it was quite old and had rust, and she broke her leg. Her leg went through it.
Oh,
Her
fuck.
fucking leg went through it, and it cut her up all the way around her leg. She was all messed up. The dad had to come over and jump on there because there's no way we were gonna lift her up.
Yeah.
Because I was the baby of the family.
Yeah.
My sister wasn't very strong, but I could not help but laugh.
Oh my God.
It's
So
like I told you so moment.
that, okay. I have a story. Again, shout out to my baby brother, the prophesizer. It's about him. So he was the daredevil of us. Like the one that landed in the emergency room
Yeah.
all the damn time, right?
Well,
And
yes.
he like there was one time he was playing in a tree. So they were playing outside. My mom was shampooing the carpets. And I didn't really, I didn't really get to play outside with them a lot, but my mom was shampooing the carpets, didn't want any of us to touch anything, so they all had to go outside. All the boys had to go outside and play. And she was like, "Don't you come in here. Don't you dirty these carpets. I will kill you. Do not do that." Like, I was raised in the 90s. I was regularly threatened with death. You know?
Yeah.
And so they understood the assignment and went and played. And they were playing down the street. And there was this tree that had been burned. Like, you could tell it was charred. It was black. It had been burned. But Kahea, my brother, the prophesizer, had he would see stuff like that, and like before hold my beer was a thing, it was hold my Kool-Aid, you know, whatever. And he climbed this fucking tree, and he's up there and he's swinging from the fucking branch. And my other brother is like, "You got to get down. You got to get down. You got to get down. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. It's gonna break." Because my other brother was Chicken Little all the time. Everything was, "We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die." Big ass clap of thunder that shakes the house. We're all gonna die. Like, yeah. And so he was like, "You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die." And so Kay is like, "Nah, man. Like, it's strong. Watch." And he goes like this. And this is all what was explained to me because I didn't see this happen.
Yeah.
But he apparently like hopped a little bit, and the branch cracks, and boom, down he goes, and he landed on a rusted out pole.
Oh.
And it was like right above his, like at the time he was smaller, so it was like right above his knee to like, it got real close. It got real close. He ended up having, like, if I remember correctly, 72 stitches. Yeah. So, but when he falls, he's hobbling across the street. And my other brother, the one who said we're gonna die, he's screaming, "He's gonna die! He's gonna die!" And our other friend Vince runs up to my mom, Mrs. Solano, okay, he needs to go to the hospital. And it was so bad that you could see like the fat, like the adipose tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. And Kaheo very calmly, like, was hobbling across the street.
Dude, her brother is gangster sometimes.
Like-
her brother's no joke. He's a gangster dude.
Like, he's been through some shit.
He has.
And, like, my mom was like, "Well, come here. Let me see it." He's like, "No." He's like, "You said you would kill us if we dirtied the carpet." He would not go in the house. And so my mom throws a towel in the back, throws him, like, he's laying in the back, and they haul his ass to the emergency room. Yeah, he ended up getting like 72 stitches. And the thing, and I don't even remember if that's the correct amount of stitches. Hopefully he watches and lets us know. But the thing that really sucked about it is he, all three of us were drug babies, so we were all adopted, right? And one of the things that he had is he has a lazy eye, and like he had several surgeries as a child for it, and he had just had one of those surgeries, and he was 1 week away from being cleared to go swimming.
Oh.
And so it was during the summertime, so he couldn't.
There went that.
Yeah, like it sucked.
Yeah.
And I thought my slingshot story was bad. Jeez Louise.
Dang, do you want to tell your slingshot story?
Yeah, do we have time?
Well, we're at time, so do
Are
you
y'all
want to
okay?
do you want to tell it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'll be
Alright.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll do that instead of the final question.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Alright.
So, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
when we lived in I'm from Alabama, Mobile, Alabama. I lived in a small little town called Saraland. Ryan Williams, love it. But when we lived down there, my extended family, meaning my first cousins, Val and
Yeah.
Christine,
Yeah.
they lived across the bay, right? So when we go over there, usually like for a weekend or something, I'd stay the night. And so we, in our Kingdom home, we also had this family. I don't want to call anyone out, but they were also real close to both sides of the family as well. And so their daughter comes with us to visit, and that's the weekend they bought all of us slingshots.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and so Laura, bless her soul, was bigger.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she gets, I don't know what she got. I think it was a stone, but I don't know for sure, but it was a really stony area. Went back and hit my Valerie, my cousin, right in the ass cheek.
Oh no.
Poor Valerie.
Yeah, I remember it like
Good aim.
yesterday.
Good aim.
I still remember her screams of pain and thinking, well, there goes to slingshots.
Ah,
And
damn.
yep.
Yeah,
there
those are
went
way
the
dangerous.
That sucks.
Man,
Yeah.
they don't have any cool toys anymore. Because of stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man.
Well-
we can do a quick final question of the day.
Yeah. Want to do a quick final question?
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Favorite Christmas song?
Go with you first.
My favorite. Ooh, that is so hard.
Maybe not a quick
You
one.
want me to go first?
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead,
go
please.
first.
So mine is Grandma got ran over by
A reindeer.
Love it. And then they got like little cartoon movies of it and stuff, like
Yeah.
a whole story about it.
Yep.
I'm all about it.
Yep.
I listen to that song on repeat.
So you watch the
forever.
cartoon too?
Oh yeah,
I love
it.
the cartoon.
Oh, I love it.
I love
love
Christmas.
that they do all of that with it. That's phenomenal.
Okay. All right.
What do you guys got?
So, oh man, that's probably gonna be either Celebrate Me Home or Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Yeah.
There you go. Those are two good ones. I like
Yeah.
it.
All right. All right. I'm
Do
gonna
you
try to be
even
quick.
do you even have a favorite?
Jingle bells, Batman, egg. Batmobile lost his wheel, and the Joker got away.
Hey. I like it.
All
I don't
right.
know any.
Well,
That was a good one. That's a good one. I
Yeah.
like it.
so you want me to do the outro?
Outro to the intro.
Well, this is the Puff, Puff, and Laugh podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay hydrated, kids. We out.
And